Welcome to Conversations Below the Surface, the CBS Podcast Shorts. I am your host, Marcus Gentry, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Oftentimes, people focus on potential. Sometimes when they're talking to young children, they say, oh, you have got such great potential, or men talking to women, women talking to men. I love the potential that they have. We all have potential for various things, and that is usually where the focus is. But I want to suggest in this message that we give attention not just to the potential, but to the patterns that we have in our life. Because if we do not have good patterns, then we will not have strong potential to accomplish what we actually could. And I'm going to keep it very simple here in talking about what are your patterns that will suggest the kind of potential that you would like to have yourself or anyone around you. Let's just look at our patterns of feeding ourselves on a few different levels. So let's talk about feeding ourselves intellectually. What pattern of behavior do you have in terms of feeding yourself intellectually? Are you reading daily, weekly, monthly? What types of material do you read? What are you watching? Are you watching things on television? I'm not saying everything has to be intellectually enhancing, but what percentage of what you're watching is intellectually enhancing you? What percentage of what you're reading is intellectually enhancing you? How often do you do that? What are you feeding yourself? What is your pattern? Because your pattern will determine how much of your potential gets evolved to the highest level. So intellectually is one. Emotionally is another area. So in order for you to become emotionally literate and emotionally intelligent, what are you doing to help build that, to help work on your handling of your emotions, your emotion of love, fear, anger, disappointment, all the emotions, when they start whirling and swirling around? How are you feeding yourself so that you can be emotionally as solid and as flexible as you need to be, have the balance and have the wisdom to know how to use each one of those things? Are you watching people on television who are emotionally balanced? Who are your examples? Who are your models of that? Who fed you earlier so that you would have a pattern of doing things, watching, listening to things that would help you become an emotionally responsible person? You could look at examples that happen when something happens and it triggers an emotion. Do you feel emotionally that you are functioning at your highest potential? If not, what is your pattern? What about financially? Are you reaching your financial potential? How good are you in terms of financial literacy, spending, saving, investing? What have you fed yourself on so that you are reaching your best financial potential? Do you have a financial advisor? Have you read or watched things that talks about managing finances and things of that sort? How much do you understand about those things? Another area would be your moral potential, your potential to be a morally righteous person according to your standards and what you consider to be morally righteous. How do you feed your moral character? How do you determine what's right and what's wrong? Your pattern will determine your potential. So we've got the emotional, we've got the intellectual, we got the moral, and we have the financial. Those are fewer things. Socially, we can add socially in. Socially, are you reaching your potential? Do you feel that you're a good person in terms of building healthy relationships with others? What were you raised to do? What are you learning about in terms of healthy relationships? It doesn't matter if you're single, if you're married, if you're in a live-in relationship. Whatever relationship you're in that's important, whether it's employee-employer relationship, are you reaching your potential for that to be the best relationship that it could possibly be? If so, what pattern of behavior do you have to enrich those kinds of relationships? The idea of this podcast is to examine not just our potential, but our patterns. Thank you for listening to this CBS Podcast Short. If you would like to hear more on this topic, please email me at respect@marcusgentry.com. And don't forget to check back for new episodes.